yesterday we drew a picture, like on the wall, of how to brainstorm ideas of things to write for your personal narratives. And I think you guys did a really good job with that. This one might be a tiny bit more difficult, okay? But I think that the stories that come from it are pretty useful, okay? And they tend to have more of a message and more of a meaning behind them. So today's target is I can generate personal narrative writing topics by remembering and listing times when I realized something important. So these are all going to be based off of important events. The last column specifically are things where you learned like a life lesson, okay? So you can go ahead and make this diagram at the same time as me. You're gonna wanna make sure that you can write in each side. So turn to your next open page after you're writing from yesterday. You turn it sideways, I don't care which way you do it, but your first category is firsts. Weird word. Yeah? Yep. You can put it on the back. Primero. Okay. The second one is going to be lasts. And the last one's going to be important moments. Okay. I'll let you guys get your charts made for a second. As we are going through this and as you hear some of my memories as I put them in there, feel free to jot some down if you have some that come to mind where you're like, oh, that's right, this one time, okay? So feel free, but I don't want you like not listening to me, okay? So make sure that you're paying attention to it, all right? So each category, let's talk about firsts. Firsts are basically your memories of the first time you accomplished something or did something. So I would say a big first for me would be like my first day teaching. Okay, you're not copying my example stuff. First day teaching. I would obviously talk about all of my nerves, everything that happened that day, like it was whatever, you know, a mess. Okay. Let's see, another first.
Wyatt Lizaway, please report to Mrs. Canader's room. Wyatt Lizaway, please report to Mrs. Canader's room. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see, what's another first that somebody might have? Yeah?
Maybe your first time riding your bike without training wheels.
Oh, that's a really good one because you guys might remember those things more than I do. I don't remember the first time I rode a bike because I'm kind of old. I do remember the first time I rode the motorcycle, remember? And I hated it. So I would write down first time motorcycle. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna write that there. Another first might be when I had, when I met my niece. So that was like my first niece or nephew. So I would say like the first time I met my niece. Obviously she was like just born. So she didn't have much personality then. What else is a first? The first time, ooh, I can't think of any. Yeah?
We could write the first day of middle school.
Yes, that's an excellent one. I remember my first day of high school, but you guys might remember your first day of middle school. Excellent one. Oh, I should write high school. All right, because I can't think of any more, I'm gonna skip over to the next category, okay? And this is lasts, okay? So this is the last time you did something. We were just talking about this and it's bothering me right now, so I'm gonna put it because it's fresh in my mind. The last time I rolled my ankle.
Oh.
You have no idea how painful it is because I tear everything in my ankle and it instantly starts swelling up. It's a pain in the butt. Yes?
Last day of elementary school.
You guys could absolutely do your last day of elementary school if you remember it. Remember though that you don't want it to just be explaining that day, right? You need to have some sort of like rising action, climax, and then the end, okay? So some excitement piece. Lasts, I think, tend to be more sad. So I'm gonna actually, for my next one, write my last conversations with my grandpas. So grandpas. Okay. Because those are very fresh in my mind. My grandpa Simon died earlier this year, and my grandpa Carlos died like years ago. So I remember my last conversation with my grandpa Simon was actually kind of funny. So I could write about that one. But my conversation and like the last time I saw my grandpa Kraus was not very fun because it was cancer. So I could definitely write about one of those. What's another last? Hey, just along the lines of the motorcycle, that was the last time I rode a motorcycle, so I could also put it in that category. Yeah. Last time I rode a motorcycle was the first time I rode a motorcycle. Let's see, what's another last that I have? Oh, the last softball game I played in. I could do that.
Did you win?
We won the championship. Yeah.
We didn't.
It's okay. Well, you could still do that. There's a moral to that, and there's like a, whew. So this was after I sprained my ankle really, really bad, and so I didn't necessarily like play that much, but I haven't played in 2 years now because of that darn ankle. Okay. So I've got 4 things in this category. I'm sure there's more that maybe I'll think of, but I'm gonna go to the last one, and that's important moments. I told you all about my moped incident, right? And remember, I realized that my dad is human, not alien. Just kidding. So I'm gonna write moped up here because that was a big moment, and it's my dad's birthday today, so shout out to my dad. Right? Say happy birthday, patty cakes. I texted him like an hour ago because I was like, yeah. Okay, another important moment in life. Oh boy, you guys are gonna laugh at this one. Kim stealing boys. Yeah, so in high school there was this boy I liked, and one of my best friends, Kim, she knew that, but then she started pursuing this boy and they started dating, but you know what, it only lasted a month, so joke's on her. But the moral of that story is that boys aren't everything. I mean, we're still friends, so it's all good. Okay, so stealing boys would just be part of the story. Okay, let's see. Another important moment, would be graduating college for me.
Graduating elementary school.
Yeah,
graduating.
I was just saying that. Such an accomplishment, yes.
Wow.
Let's see. For you guys, if you have ever moved, that might be a really important moment to you. I mean, I'm not saying, huh?
I've moved
If we don't remember it.
If you don't remember it, then you cannot write about it. But I'm saying if it was like recently, but you have to remember that it has to be a small moment, right? Nothing that's too big. Let's see, another important moment. Oh man. I cannot think of any more. I did just think of one for last, and that one I could do the car accident that was in our yard. Because that was the last one. Huh?
Which one?
The one where the girl died. That one.
That one.
So, yes.
Like for an important moment, can it also be like also a laugh?
It could
when I
be,
lost my pet
absolutely.
turtle George.
Yes. Yes. Rest in peace, George. Yes.
Wait, is it weird that I can remember something from like 8 years ago, but I can't remember
No.
something from like a week ago?
No, I can never remember what I wore a couple days ago, but I can remember something from when I was in kindergarten.
I
can
can remember
totally get it.
I can
Okay, so this is what you guys are going to do. If you're going through first and last, I would say try to get 3 things in each category, okay? After you have 3 things in each category, if you want to keep adding things, excellent. But when you come upon that one story that you're like, I have to tell this story, stop, okay? Because it's when you get that moment and you're excited about that and you're like, yes, I know exactly how I'm going to write it, that's when I want you to start writing. This is just another way to generate ideas, okay? So when you're working today, obviously I want you to fill in these 3 categories, and then you're writing another personal narrative today. Okay? It is due tomorrow, which is why I wanted to get this done and over with, because we have shorter classes today, so that way you could have as much possible time to work. Okay? So, again, you are filling in this category, Ethan. And then you are picking one, the one that excites you the most, and then you are writing another personal narrative. Yesterday I was kind of lenient, and I know some of you only wrote personal narratives that were like a paragraph. Do better. I know you can do better. You should be writing a page. That's telling me that you're not putting much dialogue in there. You're not putting details that are relevant to the story. You're not explaining those tiny moments in there, like when she was running down to the water in our story the other day. Okay? I want to hear those small moments. I mean, take those 30 seconds and split them up into milliseconds. You know, we want to hear the details. All right? All right, that's our goal today. Yep. Get to work.
Okay.